Hello, in this video we are going to take a look at servicing the head tube bearings. So we'll start by removing the top compression cap. Then remove the stem bolts. I usually alternate sides to avoid creating any pinch points. It also makes it easier when putting it back together. Because my screws are rotated evenly counterclockwise, so as I thread them back in, I know they're pretty much at the same point. Then remove your headset spacers, and then we can start to dismantle the suspension. Try to lean the handle closer to the suspension, that's why it's not dangling or hanging by the wires. So I have a tapered head tube, and this happened to me a couple of times. The bottom bearing always kind of gets jammed in there. So I'm here using a handle of a gouge to gently tap using a rubber mallet. I'm basically pounding the bottom bearing out of the head tube. So the way it came out, the top race is still stuck in the head tube, but the bottom race, the bearing cage or the bearings, they just fell out. So everything's basically popped open. Here's the picture with the top race still stuck in the head tube. So I'm now going to use an automatic pick to catch the lip of this top race and gently pound with the rubber mallet. Care should be taken not to make any gouges or any scratch marks, because we want the bearing to sit nice and snug. With the bottom, with the remaining race out, I can now start to put in the components back in. Here's the picture of the head tube. And now I'm removing the top bearings and the compression cap and the compression ring, sorry. In order to remove the old race, I don't have a tool for removing it, so I'm just using a screwdriver. I'll just go around evenly, tapping it, being careful not to scratch the suspension fork. The idea is to just go around evenly, that way we have like no bends or anything like that, and it should just slide out after some taps. Here I'm using an automatic tab remover, those plastic tab removers, since there is enough clearance for it to go underneath. At this point, it should just slide out pretty easily. Here's the new bearing for the bottom part of the head tube. In order to set the new race in, I don't have a tool again, but I'm using a bottom bracket tool. I'll just go over pounding evenly. And what we are looking for is a no gap fit once it properly seats down. Now I'm going to grease it all up. More is better. It essentially prevents any water from contaminating the bearings. I'm greasing the bottom bearing as well. The bottom bearing has a slope on one side or a taper on one side and more or less flat on the other. The tapered side is the top side. Here I'm greasing the top bearings and the compression ring. And now it's a matter of just sliding things back together. As you can see, it's a little difficult to do this without a bike stand. Maybe that would be the next investment. Now, since I have such tight interference, I'm giving it a push down to ensure the bottom bearing is properly seated into the taper. In general, you don't have to do this. Now start by putting the headset spacers back in. And then install the top compression cap. You don't need to make it super tight, it just needs to be snug such that there is no play. A good way to ensure is when your bottom headset spacers are not moving or rotating. You can also wiggle and see that there is no play at the top bearing power portion. That's it. Now it's a matter of tightening the stem bolts. Go alternating each side evenly. And finally finish off with a torque wrench, and then pray that we've done a good job and the handle wouldn't come onto your hands while riding. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.